Hi everybody, Armored Pants here, and I have another video for you. This one is discussing something which has been secretly stolen from us by Wargaming in the last update, and I say secretly because they didn't inform us. It wasn't any of the update information, and it's something which appeared to me sort of anecdotally. I was kind of looking across different accounts, and it happened to me lots and lots of times. So then I ran a poll on the community chat on my channel to see if it was actually affecting others, and it turns out that yeah, it is there, it has happened, and it's really something which is going to affect our gameplay, particularly for those of you who are grinding tanks and like to grind those lines, and particularly for those of you who are free to play. So what is it that's gone? Well, it's very simple, right? So when you bought a new tank, let's say you bought a new premium tank in the store, or when you research a new tank in the tech tree line, you were grinding a tank. The first 10 to 15 games were a grace period where you weren't up tiered, right? And it was regardless of how much experience you had, regardless of your win rate, you weren't up tier, right? This is particularly great for two reasons. One, and allows you to get used to the tank. So even if it's a premium tank, which is fully upgraded when you get it, it allows you to get used to that tank, get used to its characteristics. Because even if you research all that stuff on Blitz or whatever, you really kind of need to get a feel for a tank, right, before you know how to play it well, how to get the best out of it, etc. Right. So that, and obviously, if you're not up tiered when you're doing that, if you're fighting against your own tier, lower tiers, it helps a lot, right, when you're getting used to the tank. So that's gone, right? So you no longer have this grace period to get used to tank. But secondly, and perhaps most importantly, if you're grinding a tank, right, you don't have the XP to get the top gun, get the tracks engine or whatever, right? You are stock, right, as we call it. And you need this grace period to get some XP to win games so that you can upgrade the engine or whatever, because basically most Tech Tree tanks are a piece of junk when they're stock, right? They're fucking awful, right? They fight as well as a three-legged fucking dog, right? So you need that grace period, right? That's gone now as well. So it means that you can have a stock piece of shit Tech Tree tank and you get dumped into a top tier game, maybe even on your first game. And where's the fun in that? And also, it really hampers your ability to grind that tank and makes even what will be a difficult slog at the best of times almost impossible and certainly not enjoyable. So why has this been removed? Well, it's a very good question. I'm not sure. There was no information given to us and we weren't told about it, right? So we had to figure this out for ourselves. So I noticed it, then I ran the poll. So let's have a look at the poll figures here. Let's pull that down. So as we can see, the majority of people have said yes, it absolutely affects them. It doesn't affect some people. We're not quite sure exactly what the parameters are, but definitely if you're a newer player, inexperienced, it seems less than 2,000 battles, it's not affecting you. Anything, I would have thought it was over 5,000 battles, but it seems that even people with only 2,000 battles have been affected. So that seems to be maybe the cutoff point. But of course, I'm definitely interested in your feedback. So please leave your feedback and your experience in the comment section. I'm going to prepare a presentation for Wargaming based on the feedback that you guys have given me thus far on the poll that we're looking at here, but also then on the information that you give me here in the channel in the comments on this video. So this is a real problem, right? Because that grace period was really good. So why is it being removed? Well, we can only speculate. My view is that Wargaming are continually messing around with the matchmaking. And obviously, if you've got really experienced players who are not being upgraded, that are not being up tiered, then it gives them more of a chance of winning and influencing the game. I think that it is as part of an overall algorithm which Wargaming have put in, which is basically making more experienced players and players with higher win rates upgraded all the time. And I also know anecdotally that lots and lots of top players, and even just not top players, but players with good win rates, a lot of experience, are now finding that before they maybe were upgraded 50% of the time, 60% of the time, now they can go whole days without being top tier. And, okay, that's fine in a way, but it's also unfair in a way in that you're being punished for being a better player or for learning how to play the game well, which doesn't seem to make sense. In most games, you're rewarded for being better at it, not being punished. So it seems to be a very strange thing. But of course, I understand why Wargaming are doing it, because what do people complain about most? Everywhere, all the time, every day, on every forum, fucking matchmaking. A lot of this, okay, matchmaking is not perfect, but a lot of it is down to individual error and, an unwillingness to accept our ability to lose games, right? And as I said before, every time a game is played, half the players lose. Playing if you want to play the game, you have to accept that losing is as much part of the game as winning. But unfortunately, some people won't. They keep complaining to Wargame about matchmaking. And I think that's how we've ended up with a loss of this grace period, which I believe is fundamental to enabling players to play the game better. You need that grace period to get to know your tank. But if you're stuck and you're grinding it, you really need to gain that XP and time before you're put in with higher tiers when you have a really, really basically piece of crap tank. Lastly, I think, and I don't know if this is intentional or not, but lastly, it's pushing free-to-play players towards spending money, because it means you need to grind faster, right? So they're pushing you to spend gold to upgrade quicker, or to use your free XP or whatever. So basically, they're pushing you to spend money. They're punishing free-to-play players, I think. And basically, essentially, if you punish free-to-play players, then effectively you're kind of pushing the game towards pay to win. And, I've always said that pay to win doesn't exist, but it did before 5.5, because with premium ammo, you got more pen and higher damage points, right? So that was basically pay to win. They did away with that. But if they now are doing this is basically pushing us back towards that. So I think it's very unfair. I think it's something that we should be aware of, that we should note. And I think, that we should take our feedback together and present this to Wargaming, saying, this is not on, guys. Please put this back in, because I think it was a very important part of the game. It's a part of the game which has been secretly taken out. So that, we had to notice it ourselves. And I know many of you maybe have not noticed it. And I don't think that's on. I think it's disingenuous and not treating a very loyal player base very well. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section. And we will then correlate all of that and send it in a presentation to Wargaming. So thanks, Mush. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. And now I guess all that remains for me to say is, as always, pants off.
That's all, folks.